Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In today's episode, we're going to be studying a piece by the established AI generative artist known as Proxima Centauri B. And in this episode, we're going to be looking at this incredibly futuristic portrait. We're also going to explore the intersection of science fiction and fantasy. So let's jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, we're met face to face with a lone, foreign, and feminine figure here. Your first impression is likely one of shock or awe due to the sheer vibrance of the scene before us. There's no doubt about that. And so whenever I first found this work, the initial thing I noticed is the impact of color here. We see this quite clearly, right? The main set of this incredibly vibrant red, and then of course the contrast of that purplish blue there. Red and blue are going to be two-thirds of a tetradic scheme, so they're going to be fighting for the viewer's attention. There is no doubt about that. And alongside this, of course, I briefly mentioned that is this sense of vibrance here. It just possesses this piece with such a vivid visual energy. It's absolutely stunning. There is no doubt about that. Of course, the nature of red in and of itself is such a high attention color, so you're just not going to miss it here. So I want to call everyone's attention to the near-symmetrical nature of the scene at hand. It is very close to perfect symmetry, really split across a vertical center axis there. When we're offered such symmetrical scenes, it always gives a sense of the harmonious and the balance, so we certainly see that here. And another thing I saw, so there exists this kind of cage which face here. It's hard to say exactly what it is, although I find it most reminiscent of an aerotrim, which is, pretty close to kind of a gyroscope, if you will. That no doubt adds a very futuristic theme to the work at hand, almost as if she's standing, on a spaceship in some way or another, extremely advanced there. And so I talked about how we're met face to face with this lone subject. We kind of see the format of a New Age portrait, if you will. That, of course, shows the bust or the shoulders and the head up. This always creates a very intimate visual experience with the subject of the portrait, so we certainly see that here. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this subject's blue eyes. It just stares directly at us. And they say the eyes are a window to our soul, and yet she stares directly through ours. It's absolutely stunning. And so in creating this work, the original artist was talking about alien and human hybrids. Even the technology they use is actually indistinguishable from nature. And I have a similar piece that is very closely related to the scene at hand. I'm going to bring that in real quick and see what we can learn. Alright, so right off the bat, I wanted to mention that both of these pieces are used with very similar models. That is the Lunan diffusion model of stable diffusion. And so, of course, AI generative works, but in both instances, we see the intersection of sci-fi and fantasy. The original artist was talking about these alien-human hybrids where their technology is indistinguishable from nature itself. And so we certainly see that, especially in the piece on the right, Violet Nights, we see how this tree or a flowering bush next to her, it kind of represents the alien tech, but it is indistinguishable from what we know of as nature. And of course, both of these instances, you see this kind of nebula peaks or the nebula in both of these works. It's absolutely stunning, and it really points on our advancement towards the stars. There is no doubt about that. So like I briefly mentioned, of course, we have this kind of nebula effect on our subject's cheeks. It is almost like the best makeup you could ever imagine of, right? It is incredibly futuristic. It adds to that sci-fi theme, but it also gives an ethereal experience to the composition as well. So you're just not going to miss it there. This, of course, gives this charm and this sense of magic to the work, which is just absolutely stunning, and it stands second to none. There is no doubt about that. And so the presence of those stars, I absolutely love to draw that back to the original artist's name, Proxima Centauri B. So there's clearly a fascination with space and fantasy in some way or another. It's absolutely amazing. And so, we see that, right? The stars are meant to show an evolution towards the stars. And I think it is just so stunning and striking, a definitive element of this display. So with this in mind, what do y'all see when you view this piece? She is wearing this almost a very fantasy-like garb, if you will, and then of course that mixes with the sense of science fiction. She's standing on a ship of some kind or another. She has the stars innate within her being as well. It's just incredibly ethereal and magical in every sense of the word there. So, I wanted to ask y'all, how do y'all feel when you view this piece, or what do you see when you view this piece? I think that could give some incredible insights to the work before us. So really hope y'all enjoyed today. Like I briefly mentioned, this is an AI generative artwork, so it was created with an AI art program. And the program or software is actually going to be stable diffusion using a custom model known as Luna diffusion. So if y'all want to experiment with this, it has an incredibly photorealistic yet also painterly quality and incredible juxtaposition. We absolutely love to see it. So like I said, I really hope y'all enjoyed today. We talked about so many different things from the near symmetry here, giving that sense of harmony, all the way to the futuristic portrait, the blue eyes which stare directly at us. Of course, a very intimate and almost confrontational work, if you will. The stunning sense of that vibrance, right? We have that red and that blue, which contrast and fight for the viewer's attention. So many different things we hit on today. I truly hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all enjoyed today's episode, go check out the original artist, Proxima Centauri B, doing some amazing stuff in the world of AI generative art, as well as mixed media works too. The artist sometimes paints upon these pieces, so we're offered an incredibly unique composition in every sense of the word. So, like I said, I really hope y'all enjoyed, and if y'all did, go check out the original artist. My name is Apollo, this was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.